Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing today? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is Three Buck Theater, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit blown away. I'm a little bit shocked. I'm a little bit kind of like, wow, holy crap. So earlier today, I dropped a video all about the spicy plot leaks for Black Widow, right? I dropped a video talking about that whole thing and how it was coming out of 4chan, right? Well, as I got that video done, as I got that video up, I double checked 4chan real quick, and somebody dropped the entire plot of the film. And this does seem relatively true. I know the tag there says big if true, but some of the things here that they say do match up with behind the scenes shots that did leak out from the production, I think earlier this year. So I thought it would be fun to dive through that and to take a look here at just what the story of the Black Widow is going to be. And remember, these are spoilers. We don't know how true they are. This is meant to be taken with an absolute utter grain of salt. But let's dive in, shall we? Okay, following the events of Civil War, Natasha Romanoff flees to Budapest after betraying the Sokovia Accords to retrieve Foxcharger, a device created by the Red Room that would allow her to erase all digital records of her existence so she can disappear. Natasha cross paths with her sister Yelena Belova, played by Florence Pugh, who was also trained in the Red Room and was hired to eliminate her. Natasha realizes that somebody lured them into a trap just as the Taskmaster, a mercenary capable of mimicking his opponent's fighting patterns, attacks them. Natasha and Yelena flee in a motorcycle pursued by Taskmaster in a self-driving armored mobile headquarters. They escape and hide with Natasha's old lover, Rick Mason, a fixer who reveals that Taskmaster is eliminating people connected to the Red Room at the behest of Melina Vostokov, otherwise known as the Iron Maiden. Taskmaster kidnaps Mason and forces Natasha to rescue her brother, the super soldier Alexei Shotoskov, played by David Harbour, from a gulag in Russia. Yelena decides to join her, and as they succeed, Natasha double-crosses Taskmaster, having deduced that he is in fact Mason, but then is betrayed by Yelena, who was conspiring with both Melina and Mason. Natasha and Alexei learn that Melina has revived the Red Room and employed Mason to capture young women, so Melina can turn them into Black Widows for a mysterious benefactor. Melina plans to use Alexei's blood to reproduce his super soldier serum and enhance her soldiers, and brainwash Natasha into training them. Yelena made a deal to help Melina and Mason capture Natasha and Alexei in exchange for her own safety, but did not know that Melina planned to create more Black Widows. Having bonded with Natasha and unwilling to let others suffer what they have suffered, Yelena breaks out Natasha and Alexei, who set out to stop Melina. Natasha fights Melina, who wears a combat exoskeleton, and Alexei fights Mason in his old Red Guardian uniform, and Yelena frees the prisoners and rigs the facility to explode. The prisoners then ambush Melina and lock her in her own torture chamber to die. Mason then kills Alexei after a vicious fight and nearly kills Natasha before Yelena manages to shoot him through a hole in his helmet, seemingly killing him. Natasha and Yelena then lead the prisoners to safety before the laboratory explodes. Natasha arranges for the prisoners to receive new lives and retrieves Foxcharger, but gives it to Yelena so she can start anew. Having rediscovered her purpose, she contacts Steve Rogers and Sam Wilson and departs to Italy to meet them. In a post-credit scene, Mason is revealed to have actually survived and is working for the benefactor in a greater conspiracy. All in all, I'm not going to lie, I kind of dig it. I wasn't too sure how I'd feel about this, but I kind of dig it, actually. I think it sounds pretty interesting. Now, I don't know if that Mikey Sutton scoop from back in August, where he brought up the fact that Deadpool could be in the post-credit scene for Black Widow, having teamed up with Taskmaster for a parody of the original Robert Downey Jr. Thunderbolt Ross meeting from Incredible Hulk. We have no idea. With this particular setup, it kind of feels like it would throw off the balance of the movie. The movie doesn't feel like it's going to be that funny. It feels like it's going to be pretty action-packed, pretty straightforward spy thriller, and quite frankly, I'm actually 100% on board with that. I think that's going the pathway of the James Bourne films, and I love those movies, and I kind of feel like, or the Jason Bourne films, and I do love those movies, and I'm kind of on board with this particular direction. Now, a lot of the leaks that have come out, especially of Taskmaster in that self-driving vehicle, do back up what we've heard before, and so I'm actually kind of more on the line of believing that this is a pretty accurate overview of what to expect from Black Widow. Now, it does seem relatively straightforward. That much I will absolutely admit. It does seem pretty straightforward overall, and very much kind of a summer action blockbuster. But it could be a lot of fun. Now, there was no mention here from what was in the previous leaks about Hawkeye having a cameo appearance, as well as Sonny Birch and Jimmy Woo, and tying into Ant-Man and the Wasp. So we don't quite know how that is going to play out. I'm still trying to wait for that information, but this feels like more of an accurate leak than the ones that were before, but there is some crossover here ultimately. So I do wonder if they come from the same person. Maybe yesterday that person got an overview and today they got the full-on story breakdown. Now we have to wait until early May 2020 in order to be able to find out how much of these are legit. And of course, when the first trailer drops here, probably before Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, we'll be able to see precisely if these are backed up or if they are fake. But in the meantime, I actually really want to hear your thoughts on this. Do you think this is interesting? Do you think this is bad? I want to hear good, bad, in between. Let me know. Be sure to hit that like button. Let's try to get it up to about, let's go for 250 likes. I think we can do it. I believe in you guys. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. Please consider popping on that notification bell. And I will talk to you guys later. Have yourself a fantastic day. Thank you so much for watching, and peace out. This video is supported by patrons like you. If you'd like to become a patron, please head over to patreon.com/Matt Jarboe.